Hello, guys and gals. Me, Budahar, and is Temu a scam? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen this hit up the headlines a little bit. And to be real with you, I've seen a fair amount of YouTubers sponsor it, but I didn't hear about it from any YouTube sponsor or really anybody. Now, if you're wondering, have we ever been reached to by Temu? I'm sure I can dig through an email and probably find one, but I found about it through my mom, all right? She was pretty much like headhunted by one of her friends, because apparently if you like refer 10 people to download the app, you get like a free hand massager, okay? All right? Hand massager is what I'm going to say, all right? We're not even 2 minutes into the video, and I'm not going to drop one of that. You get what I'm saying, okay? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, Temu is one of the most popular, I guess you could say, applications. Within like a month, it went from like 50 down, top 50 to like top 1 shopping applications you could find. Ooh, what is that? An email? It's just the IRS, who cares? Anyways, Temu, shop like a billionaire, 10 million downloads. Now, of course, if you go onto like YouTube over here, you can probably see like, I tried Temu so you don't have to. Austin Evans, I got scammed on the new wish.com. And then I got scammed on Temu through Austin. One scam I can accept. 2 scams not happening. And then, of course, Temu turning people into scammers. And then, of course, you got, like, the shopping channels were like, amazing 20 must-finds from Temu. Oh, man, 20 must-finds? So let's go to the actual website and see what the hell they're selling real quick, just so we can get a good idea. Hell yeah, celebrate Victoria Day. Woo, go Canada. Everything's up to 90% off, apparently. Well, some things. Now, of course, you got lightning deals, and you can buy things like... for instance, these soaps, I want to imagine they're soaps. Moisturizing lip balm set, 89 cents. 10,000 sold, 55% off. Now, that's a lot of savings right there. And now, is the quality of the product going to be good? Dog, it's under $1 Canadian, okay? Probably fucking not. And I assume you're going to be paying a much higher amount just in shipping if you buy this one product. And, of course, let's go down here. Women's clothing starting from 38 cents. Woo! You don't even find shit on Skid Row that cheap. There is nothing starting from 38 cents. You sit on a throne of lies. Electronics, video games, whoa, wowie. Let's see what I can buy for some video games. Auto clicker for my iPhone and iPad, $7.38 to send some pulses. God damn. Now, of course, there's another bit of electronics that you can find over here. For instance, this is the Watch 8, I guess you could say. Let's listen to this one real quick. Was $16 for a smartwatch? Okay, I mean, if it turns on, come on, that's better than nothing. It looks like an Apple Watch. You know, let's see. Okay, all right, it's got a refresh rate of 60 hertz. Don't look too half bad, I'd say. God damn, for $16? You get some Mario? Is that Mario? Yeah, they're getting sued to oblivion. Jesus Christ. Now, of course, Temu, ladies and gentlemen, has freaked people out with those low prices. Is it a scam? Is it very sketchy? And of course, according to Redditors, it's just AliExpress. Now, if you're wondering how do they make shit so cheap, ladies and gentlemen, it's because they connect you directly to the directly to the manufacturer in China, so you get a better deal out of it. Now, is the quality of the product going to be good? Dog, there were things going as low as 80 cents, okay? Probably not going to be the best. It's probably going to end up in the landfill. Now, from what I heard, you get stuff in the mail quicker than Wish.com. But that's not saying much. Now, I also wanted to share this one from r/USPS. Yes, there is an entire postage. There's a subreddit for USPS workers, okay? One of my best friends was a USPS worker, and they only told me horror stories. This is an actual worker saying, hey, Temu, I see you guys want to get in on selling stuff for cheap money and maybe take over your Wish. Good for you, but for the love of all that's holy in the world, can you please package your stuff decently? I'm tired of having parcels that I can tell have 5 or 6 different items, man. They pissed on this person's parade. I love how you've got actual Scotty Pimpin bringing up some Wish.com like horror stories. Look at this front lines.
I'm gonna need y'all to stop ordering Temu shit.
Oh, hell no. You see all those orange packages? That's Temu shit right there. Absolutely destroying the productivity at the USPS. Jesus Christ. Now, of course, Temu is not new. Wish.com, I think Shine is one of these products. And of course, back home in China, ladies and gentlemen, where this is originated from, it's known as Pinduoduo. Now, the reason I'm making a video on this, ladies and gentlemen, the reason I'm talking about this is not because if this is a scam or not. Look, if you get the product, I don't really consider it to be a scam, right? If you buy something off their website, and I guess it reasonably looks the same, like if you buy 100 DS games in one cartridge and it turns out you got it, I don't really think that's a scam, okay? Now, if you don't get your product or you get something totally different, yeah, that's a scam, and I'm sure Temu may help resolve that. But one thing that was shady to me is obviously a lot of YouTubers are sponsored by it. A lot of people are getting really, really good rates by them. It's almost like Temu wants to just take over the world by storm. And they kind of have. They and a lot of these other websites have become kind of like #1 stores in like the last month or two that they've pretty much been active. Now that alone is kind of eyebrow raising, but even then that's not that big of a deal. What is one of the things is when I saw this show up in my feeds. Temu accused of data risks after their sister app was suspended for malware. Yes, the United States government has put an accusation. Now, to understand, the US government is kind of going a little bit all in when it comes to some of these applications. For instance, in this post right here by the US government, the US, China, and Economic Security Review Commission. So lately, you've noticed TikTok's getting banned in certain states. In fact, Montana actually went out of their way to further ban more applications for government users. Some of those applications include WeChat, a popular Chinese messaging client, and of course Temu. But then again, you've also got Telegram that's banned. And I'm going to assume that the actual politicians in Montana have banned it because Telegram is initially founded by a Russian individual, and the US and Russia don't get along too well, even though Telegram is hosted in the British Virgin Islands and headquartered, at least operationally, in Dubai. And of course, they claim they've never handed out any information. Now, while I personally don't really use Telegram, I've only ever touched this to spy on cryptocurrency groups. I use Signal mostly for messaging. I think it's the premier application, the premier end-to-end encrypted messaging service, but that's just me, okay? This video is not sponsored by anybody. Use whatever you want. So, Shine, Temu, and Chinese e-commerce, data risks, sourcing violation, and trade loopholes? So founded in 2008, Shine has emerged as a leading player for fast fashion consumers, people that are addicted to online shopping, okay? Shine and similar companies work to market new, fashionable clothes from online and celebrity trends and deliver them quickly to consumers. You can imagine why they're working with Instagrammers, TikTokers, YouTubers in order to promote, I would say, like their shop. Also, I think there's a symbiotic relationship with people promoting clothes they find on Wish, and then like suddenly, I would love to see the sales data on what an influencer promotes, and suddenly it blowing up because it's sold in a very cheap, capacity on these websites. I would love to see the actual connection there. But of course, let's go back in here. So using data analysis of its user search history and a consolidated and high-speed supply chain, Shine has outpaced competitors, including Zara and H&M, to take a dominant position in the US market. What they're kind of really alleging over here is effectively what they're doing is utilizing, user data that they get from their mobile applications and pushing what people want to buy, like targeted advertising. So, of course, they've also mentioned numerous, practices, controversial stuff, where in 2022, it was alleged that Shine failed to declare that it had sourced cotton from Xinjiang for its products, a violation of the Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act, okay? So basically alleging that they were using fucking slave labor, which, again, when it comes to the, fashion industry, I'm not too terribly shocked. So realistically, the most important part about it was this one right here. So Temu, which has replaced Shine's process of quickly manufacturing, replicated their process for US consumers. Like Shane, Temu's success raises flags about its business practices. Temu's lack of affiliation with established brands has brought concerns of product quality as well as accusations of copyright infringement. It's China, buckos, alright? If anybody's stealing US IPs, it's them. So, of course, Temu has received 235 complaints in the last year with the BBB, earning 2.1 out of 5-star consumer ratings, and PDD Holdings, Temu's parent company that operates the related e-commerce platform Pinduoduo, like I mentioned earlier, their parent group in China, was accused by China Labor Watch of extreme overtime, requiring employees to work 380 hours per month. Insanity. But of course, for us, computer and security focused guys, because that's one of the pillars of my channel, the company, all right, right over here in April 2023, CNN reported that multiple cybersecurity teams had found sophisticated malware on Pinduoduo's mobile application for Google Android devices. People like me, okay? The brokies with the Androids. I assume for iOS, not that big of a deal. They're usually more locked down over there, okay? The perks of having a Fisher-Price walled garden. For us here on the Android side, and basically what most of the world uses, yeah, they're obviously targeting them. The malware enabled by Pinduoduo app to bypass user security permissions and access private messages, change settings, view data from other apps, and prevent uninstallation. And of course, that investigation followed Google's suspension of the app from the Play Store in March of this year. Insane! So of course, while I assume Temu and Pinduoduo actually pretty much vehemently reject this claim, I wanted to look at some of the actual studies. All right, I don't want to go with what CNN was saying. All right, like just some reporting firm. I wanted to get to the hard fact data, something that I like to do when I research situations like this. Okay. Basically, what's being alleged over here is Pinduoduo's app, not Temu's app, even though they're owned pretty much by the same company here. What's being alleged is effectively the Pinduoduo app was exploiting actual vulnerabilities in Android devices to privilege, escalate, and look into things where it shouldn't be. Typically on cell phone devices, you have permission settings for a lot of different things. What it was alleged here was they were actually breaking, again, using exploits to turn off certain limitations and look far beyond the scope of what a e-commerce app needed. So for instance, right over here, they've got improper access control in the clipboard service. Release 1 allows untrusted applications to read or write arbitrary files on the device. The patch adds a proper color check to prevent improper access to clipboard device. So again, looking into your clipboard where you're copying and pasting a bunch of key information from multiple apps or things that you write, maybe passwords, maybe sensitive information, that was alleged to be looking into. And it wasn't just these people that did it. If it was one organization, I'd still want to question it. So inside this second group, their reporting basically showed that they had multiple behaviors with the Pinduoduo app. They had the keep alive behavior, deceptive, anti-uninstallation, attack and infection behavior. So for instance, when it came to things like keep alive, basically adding itself to the system's auto start whitelist, using methods such as an associated boot whitelist, background whitelist, lock screen whitelist, effectively trying to persist the longest that it could on your device when it didn't need to. All you were doing was supposed to buy shit from it anyways. It wasn't supposed to look into anything. Then it could bypass system restrictions, again, to construct full screen ads, fake notifications, and then induce users to click, all right, which again isn't uncommon, especially from these kind of shadier applications. And then you've got anti-uninstallation behavior, making the user unable to delete the app by means of fake icons, widgets, or intercept users' uninstallation operation by injecting the system process. If any app does this, I don't care what the fuck it is, you get rid of it, all right? Because that app can never be trusted, ever. Now again, big if true, but then again, I don't really doubt this analysis. Personally, it is of my opinion if Google is out there suspending your application for this, there's probably something a little too weird, okay? There's probably something going off. It's up to Google to make sure these applications are good and fit, and if they're not going to be on your store. And from what I understand, Pinduoduo doesn't really appear to be in the Play Store, at least for me. But then again, that might be because I'm out of China. Temu is still available, so maybe they're completely clean, maybe they're not. Maybe Google has to put some extra steps into it. But honestly, if their parent company is caught of doing something so shady, and if they have these kind of allegations going up against them, I would be very careful utilizing the actual Temu application itself. Now, obviously, with the amount of money that Temu is throwing around, clearly it's a big company that runs it, so they can afford the advertising cost. But the thing about all of this is, if this was just a simple e-commerce app, I would let it go. But the thing is, looking at the situation as it is right now and how many agencies are kind of alleging or looking into this and the actual security researchers involved, I really do feel like the ultimate goal is to get as many people as to download this application or be part of their platform as quick as they can. And again, if it was just an e-commerce app, it wouldn't even be an issue. Alibaba exists, Shine, a lot of these applications exist, and they provide low-cost goods to people all over the world, shopping addicts galore. But the thing is, looking into some of these security researchers, looking into how Google has treated this application, or at least their parent application on their home store, it raises a lot of eyebrows and concerns, especially as more and more of these Chinese applications just enter the entire system. It's not just Temu, it's not just Shine. In fact, even ByteDance is coming back with Lemon 8, another like social media application they've got in the woodworks. It really does feel like this is the next stage in siphoning data, or at least getting people to be part of a platform where, again, once you download an app, it really does take some research as to figure out what's going on in between your connection to a server and whatnot. And obviously, with like security researchers out of China and the United States looking into this application, it does definitely raise some concerns. Again, I don't believe Temu would be a scam. Being a scam means that they run an online storefront. They're not even selling you the product, but in this case, people do receive products by the bucket load. The question that I honestly have after reading all of this for myself is, can I trust even being partaking into a platform that has this much of a shady history attached to it, or these kind of like shady links, so to speak? That's a question I think anybody should be asking, not just out of a Chinese app, but out of an American app, a Russian app, so on and so forth. Your phone is the last line. It really is where most of your important data is hosted and stored, and I'd be very careful with what you allow into that domain. That said, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.